for some of you who are joining for the first time on our AMA, let me tell you a little bit about Travala. So Travala was founded in 2017, and we are now the leading web-free travel company. It means that you can book hotels, flights, and activities with cryptocurrency on Travala. And today we have an AMA with LinqAI. Link is listed on Travala as one of the payment methods. It means that you can use Link to book flights, hotels, and activities all around the world. No need to do currency exchange. You can just use Link directly on Travala. Now, I would like to bring up George, the co-founder of LinqAI, joining us today. Hi, George. How are you doing?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing great as well.
Well, great to be here, and thanks very much for having us on. So we're very excited about talking about what we do and what we've achieved, and obviously a huge fan of Travala also. So yeah, great to be here. Thank you.
So yeah, thank you so much. And George, like for anyone new here, what is LinqAI and what are you building right now?
We are an AI and Web3 primarily software development company. We developed a suite of tools for business and personal users. We leverage AI agentic networks and frameworks in Web3. So we were using the agentic frameworks back in 2023 before it became a big sort of buzzword and hot topic, but that's what we've done. What we're building at the moment is our sort of, I would say our base level is LinqProtocol. So our foundation, what everything will tie back to is LinqProtocol, which is a decentralized compute network. What that is essentially is a decentralized version of what AWS would provide for a user. So EC2 instances and other things, it will be a decentralized version of that anyone can provide compute power for. We're not the first to do this. There are a handful of people out there that have decentralized compute networks. However, our approach is slightly different in that we will be able to provide the supply and the demand. So a lot of these companies will build these networks. They have a fantastic suite. Everyone offers their GPU power, but no one wants to use it. Or no one is prepared to make that swap from AWS or Azure across to a decentralized platform. We have a slightly different advantages in that we have built 6 apps already that we will move over to this network already. So we will sort of self-fund our own network. Instead of paying AWS fees for servers and other sort of expenses, we will self-populate our own network with our own tools, and that will be our starting mark. So that's kind of how we're doing it slightly differently. I won't go too much into the technical stuff, Polina. I know you and I have spoken a few times before, and it's probably above my station, and it's probably a little bit heavy for this level of AMA, and I'll let the technical people do that side of things in future. So to talk about some of the apps briefly that we've built that will live on LinqProtocol, we have some smaller ones and some more comprehensive ones, but I will probably just touch on 2, if that's okay. And that is Marketer, which is a social media end-to-end solution. So a social media management tool. So if you think Hootsuite, for those of you who know Hootsuite or Sprout Social, that type of a management tool that you can connect your Instagram, Facebook, X, Reddit, whatever you happen to do to this platform, and it will create it from the start. All it requires is your website. It takes your website, it ingests information, it understands, it does a business analysis, including a SWOT analysis on your business. It understands the business genre you work in and subgenres. It understands where you sit in the market as well. Then it creates a business plan. Then you have a very brief interaction with the tool where it will ask what you want to achieve from a marketing campaign. And then it will then spit out however many posts you want using this agentic framework. And it will then also, you can upload your own images and video. You can use AI images or templates. And then you have an end-to-end solution. So that the reason it was built is for people who just have those creative blocks. They know that they should be on social media, a business or a person, but they're just not very good at, being regular and posting on a regular basis. So the whole point of this tool was to automate that end to end. It's not sort of AI helps you write the post. We do have that tool as well, but this one is literally, it will do everything for you. So I have put a link below, and that's get.marketer.io in the chat. So if you want to have a little play, it's a free 7-day trial to have a little go on that. And our recent update from Marketer has been the new image generation from 4.0. You've probably seen it all over your timeline feed of the posts and the furry posts. That has now been integrated into Marketer, so the standard and the quality and the text element for the images has had a massive boost. Before I go into synthetic, it's probably worth noting that everything we've built with the premise that as AI improves, the tools will improve. So if you think of our tools as frameworks or like a chassis, and the engine is the large language model. So as these improve over time, we become more efficient and cheaper and better. And people who have used Marketer before in the past will be able to attest to that. So go back onto synthetic. Synthetic is a social media virality platform. And what I mean by that is that it's almost like, I say time machine, I've got to be careful with my words here, but essentially it allows you to run a post through a synthetic network of nodes that simulate real life human beings on social networks. And it will judge using a very, very cool and aesthetic tool of a globe showing links and connections and nodes. And it allows you to sort of basically run a couple of posts. Let's say you've got a big announcement, but you want to run it through synthetic, and it will tell you how well it's performed. And each of these nodes has personalities. They have backgrounds and careers and opinions and political, allegiances and stuff like that, and based on where they're demographically based, on the planet as well. And these are all based on real life data sets. They've been slightly tweaked to make them synthetic and to not. Anyway, I won't go into what synthetic data is. It's just a different AMA altogether, if I'm honest. But basically, the tool allows you to run a post, see how well it does, gives you some advice. You can tweak it, run it again. Okay, so I scored better on that one. That's got better verbiage and buzzwords or whatever happens to be to resonate with different people. And both those two products we launched on product. Synthetic came fourth for the day in Product Hunt, which is a very good achievement. And we will be releasing version 2.0 within the next couple of weeks. And Marketed came 11th on a Monday. There was a lot more people running on that one. So its percentage score was higher, as in it was 11th out of about 250. So yeah, but we are still learning and iterating as we go, and we're sort of very much enjoying the journey. But there's another 3 or 4 apps on our Link Hub, which is a link I've left below as well. So we do have like a marketplace for everything we do, and that's Link Hub, which is hub.linqai.com. So sorry, that was a bit of a belt-fed sort of session, but we have actually been building a lot. So yeah, that's kind of us in a nutshell.
Thank you so much for the detailed introduction. It sounds really interesting. And with the new developments that you have recently, you said that the new tool is coming live next week. Is this right?
Yeah, so synthetic version 2.
Yeah.
At the moment, the data sets that these synthetic nodes that you will run your social media past, they are sort of generic for everyone. They take a broad spectrum of people online and sort of, like a data set of thousands, but everyone runs their post past the same. This new update will be for a more custom data set. So, for example, Plina, you work in social media and you work in sort of like a marketing and sort of PR area. You could change your post settings to say, well, I want to go to the tech space, the AI space, Web3, marketing, and whatever else you would be able to target, basically to mirror your audience, to people who follow you. So you have a more accurate sort of example of how that post will do. Because obviously if I post something from my account and you post from your account, we can get wildly different responses because our followers are wildly different. So it's a more sort of customized tool for synthetic. So we will launch that in probably 3 or 4 weeks on Product Hunt again as a version 2 to see whether that resonates a little bit more with people, because some of the feedback we got was that they would like to see that. So that's what we've done. Yeah,
it's incredible to see your progress, because we've been partners for a long time already, and it's always great to see how our partners are building and succeeding in the space. I just wanted to ask, with so many different AI projects and this whole AI narrative bubble, I would say, in the Web3 space, how LinqAI is different from other AI projects out there?
That's a good question. First of all, I would say a lot of the AI projects that you'll see that have sprung up, say from probably late 23 or mid 24, a lot will fall into this AI meme category. They'll hammer the buzzwords, AI agents, and they'll throw a few other things in there, and there's not a huge amount of thought. So we are fully doxed, we are full time. A lot of these teams will just do this part time, or they'll run 2 or 3 projects at the same time. I would say that we have a more substantial partnership sort of program. I hunted you guys down because I heard about you before it even launched this, but I knew about you from being in crypto since sort of 2020. I knew about you guys and used you once a while ago. So we tried to hunt people down. I know you're partners with another travel company that deals with the Airbnb side of things, but the decentralized. So we really made a concerted effort to find partners who actually did something with crypto, like actually something useful that you can actually sort of gain from holding crypto. For example, Ava, your rewards program, the discount you get for holding different amounts and stuff. So, it's actually a genuine utility, and it's a platform that works very well. So I would say our partnership, and we've got actually a new partnership coming up, a very big one, which we're really excited about, which will go out in the next sort of couple of weeks as well. So we do try to be a bit more fastidious with our partnerships. I would say the level of product that we put out as well. That's a good way to determine how good any project is what are they built? Do you understand what they're building is the first thing? Because so many projects, like if I ask anyone in this, I said, what do Chainlink do? A few people will be able to tell me they're an Oracle, but not many people will be able to tell me what the purpose of their token is, what they do, and that type of thing. So it's sort of having that sort of clear cut understanding of what these projects do. And do they build? Have they built? Can you use that thing? Do they look promising? So I would just say business first principles. And once you scratch the surface, I think I would just advise people to do a lot of research in this space, because there are a lot of copycat styles that do exist in the AI space. But that's what I would say we were different, is you scratch the surface and you'll see a huge difference.
Yeah, I agree with you absolutely. Like, I know for a fact that you have a very strong team behind your project, and honestly, like, it makes all the difference, because like after all, the projects, these are teams, right? And like, I remember like one of my friends said a very good quote. He said, don't invest in projects, invest into teams. And I think he's like absolutely right, because like without good people running the project, like nothing can happen. And like the thing about the research, you're like absolutely right as well. Like, it's the golden rule of crypto. And if you're in this industry, you have to do the research. And I know that you're also building infrastructure, right? So could you please tell us what is LinqProtocol and how does it fit into everything what you mentioned before?
Yeah, okay, so we sort of touched on it. Is a decentralized compute network. So in short, I'll give you an example. It's probably the best way so people can sort of wrap their heads around it, because it's not sort of a normal way things are done. So we will create this network that allows anyone, let's say, for example, everyone here wanted to provide compute space. Instead of having centralized, big, powerful NVIDIA GPUs that Amazon are running, sort of H100s and all those really high compute GPUs, everyone could provide, let's say everyone's got a gaming PC and it just sits idle for, 20 hours of the day. You can connect by downloading our LinqProtocol package and container. You can connect your PC to our network and provide your graphics card and CPU power to do tasks for someone else. So let's say we all did this on this call. Everyone did it, and everyone has a different level of computers. Some people have connected MacBook Pros. Some people have connected really high-power gaming PCs. We have a load balancer that will select what task goes where based on the compute power required. So let's say that then someone comes in and says, I want to train this open source LLM. I've got an open source LLM, I'm tweaking it, I'm giving it training data, I want to train it. Well, on our system, it would say, let's say, for example, it would divvy the task up between 10 different of the most powerful ones here. But it would pick the tasks. If there were some smaller inference tasks that could be done, it would maybe go, well, I can give that task to a lower performing PC because it's cost less. And the load balancer will do all this, it will carry out all this information, and then the whole sort of suite will work in tandem to keep the costs low, give the high computational tasks to the bigger GPUs, but obviously the bigger GPUs cost more money. So it's just a smarter way to do things without going into too much detail. And you could, if you read our light paper, if you want detail, go on our website and read our light paper. And I guarantee you, if you struggle with insomnia, well, I'm joking, but it's quite heavy. For a light paper, it's quite heavy. But it does give you, like, if you were a tech person, it gives you a good in-depth analysis into what. But I'll keep it simple. Obviously, with 10, 15 people, if once someone turns off their PC or they have a power cut, it's no problem. The load balancer just takes that task. Obviously, they won't get paid for their role in the network, but it would take the task and send it out to anyone else. So from a robust perspective, it allows, basically not for you to put all your eggs in one basket is probably the simplest sort of analogy or saying. Why would people give up some of their compute space? Obviously, it costs a lot of money to run computers, especially here in the UK. I think we've got the most expensive electricity in the world. So at least we're leading in one thing. On that front, you're rewarded for tasks in LNQ. If someone wants to, which is our native token, if someone wants to complete this large language model sort of training data in sets, and they want to do it on our network, they have to buy and stake a certain amount of LNQ. They'll pay for it in a certain amount of LNQ, and those rewards then go to the compute provider. So the more GPU power you provide, the more rewards you get for those tasks. And so it's more private because you don't have all of your information in one place. It will be fully secure, be fully audited, and we will be open source as well. A lot of these companies aren't open source, and are what we're thinking behind that method is that in order to keep moving at the speed you're moving and to compete with massive companies like AWS who have millions in payroll, you need that open source community, all the bright people that will want to sort of get involved and tackle those technical challenges. So we have that. So it's redundant, robust, the privacy elements there, and you get the rewards back much. So you're allowing other people to do it as opposed to it being, because let's be honest, like AWS, Azure, Microsoft, Amazon, it's almost a monopoly in the space. You can get sort of, smaller providers, but mainly it's a massive monopoly. So this kind of, there is a big market for this decentralized market, but it is still very early. So I hope I didn't lose too many people. I can't imagine I would have done because I'm not that technical. So, but that's kind of the network, the protocol in a nutshell.
I appreciate you not making it super technical, but I'd like to go over the flow just to make sure that I understand how it would look like for a normal user. Let's say if I have a computer, right, at home that I use for work, right? But let's say I don't use it overnight. It means that I can just connect to LinqProtocol, and then you can use the GPU on my computer when I'm not using it, and I can get rewards for it.
In a nutshell, yes. Yes, that's exactly how it works.
Nice. And the rewards are paid in LNQ.
Yes, that's correct. Every transaction all the transactions will be in LNQ. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah. Wow. So it's basically like almost passive income, basically. You're just using the hardware that you have already, and then you can get the tokens through the rewards. And then like LNQ has also massive utility. Like, for example, you can book hotels. Like you can literally go on a vacation fully paid with LNQ tokens. So it's like, I see so many possibilities there, how I don't want to say like normal people, but like maybe less technical people and just like daily, like web normal users. People. Yeah, like normal people using, right? Because because I understand like lots of projects, for example, they're building something that is super technical and maybe like 1 or 2, 3 other people in the world can understand and use them. Yeah. Oracle, so like protocols and it's just like super complicated. But so Consider
Sorry, I was going to say that there are some protocols, and you can go so I went to try a couple of these that will be competitors with us. So I open up their thing. I've got a relatively decent gaming PC. I'm thinking, yes, okay, here we go. Let's start harvesting some free tokens. Well, it's not free tokens, is it? You're providing compute power. You're paying for electricity. But anyway, so I go on there. And then I'm met with the first page and it's sort of enter your RPC custom link, download this, add this. And it's more technical than the common user would do. So you look at it and you think, I'm going to they want me to do something to my program files and my PR, and I'm just like, no. So we are going to make it that one step further. So it is baby steps. Basically, we've made it so I can use it, because, I've ruined many a PCs by playing around with Windows files and stuff like that. So we will take it. We will make sure that, because that's the problem, is why aren't people adopting decentralized compute? Why aren't these projects blown up? Well, it's because there's barriers to entry. People don't know about them. They're a little bit more complicated. It's the trust element. So there's lots of things. There's lots of problems, but we've got our own tools that we can put on the network. So immediately when you turn up day one, you are helping to power marketer, researcher, composer, creator, synthetic. And by that stage, we'll have another 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tools, because marketer was massive. It took us about 8 months, whereas the others we've churned out in probably 2 months per. We've become very efficient. All of our staff are all in-house. They're all fully employed. And so we try and get as much out of them as possible, because we pay obscene amounts of money for, no, they're okay, but we pay their wages on a daily basis. They're part of the team. We've all been together for a year, so we're very efficient now. So all of these tools will be on the network from day one. It's not a case of, now we've got to find something for the networks to do. There will be stuff to do from day one, which is amazing. That's the chicken and the egg problem solved.
Yeah, absolutely. The decentralized compute, basically, how I understand it now, after you explained it to me, is basically giving the power back to the people, right?
Yes, exactly that. Allowing you to just turn your idle PC into something that can generate a small passive income.
Yeah, nice. This sounds really exciting. I'm curious, what kind of feedback have you received from early users?
Well, it's not been built yet, so we're building an approach. It's a long process. So just to give you an understanding, this is a good 12 to 18 month full process. We're about 4 months in, and I think today we've got a very cool demo coming out where we basically, for example, the demo will be like me downloading or you pulling the containerized file from my computer onto your computer, and then me being able to utilize your computer for compute power. I think that is the example today that's going out. So yeah, that'll be really exciting. So we're very excited about showcasing that. So it's an evolving process, this development, and there's loads of parts. And what we've been doing is we've been showcasing the different parts as we go forward, and the different stages of completion. So, but when it is finished, that's exactly what will be able to be done.
I see. So that's why you said that it's early, that the community is early, and it's definitely a good time to join right now. Because it's the most exciting time, when not many people know about it yet. Because once it blows up, I think it will blow up really quickly.
But that's our hope as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. I know that we promised to each other to not keep it very technical, but I have a question. I see that you mentioned on your website about task execution, that you can perform a single task or a chain of tasks. So I know that for AI in general, a chain of tasks, it's much more harder. So if you could you tell me a little bit how you approach it when you're building your product?
So each of the tools still has a myriad of different processes that happens. So, you'll have different agents performing different functions within one tool. So composer, creator, marketer, they'll all have marketers a bit more complex with a lot more code. It's a much more comprehensive suite of tools, but so there are more agents working. So yes, essentially you're creating the building blocks to eventually create what will be a synthetic employee. That's what we deemed back, 8 months ago, maybe 6-8 months ago. We were talking about synthetic employees and synthetic data and stuff. So yeah, 100%. We will start off building these tools, and then we foresee the next evolution will be that these tools then start to have agents that manage them work in between. So then they talk to each other with like a management layer, an agentic management layer. But the LLMs will need to move forward a little bit further for it to be a quality employee. I think at the moment you'd have an employee that you probably sack within a few weeks, if I'm honest. It's not quite there yet, but it's getting close, and the speed of it is phenomenal. It is 16-hour days to keep up. It is, to make sure we moved, I think within a day we'd moved marketer onto the new image generation model. So it's hard work. It's really hard work, but it's very rewarding to see that sort of pace of development that all these big companies are having. It's crazy.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like the technology is moving at the lightning speed, and it's like really hard to keep up with everything what's happening. And sometimes I feel overwhelmed, especially like since I'm all about social media, right? And there's a lot of hype about it as well, and everybody is generating FOMO, and it's just really hard. So it's hard to find projects like yours, for example, that you can be sure that the team is solid, there's everything around like the framework and that you really thought it through. So I'd like to kind of like go ahead, and ask, where do you see LinqAI a year from now with all of this rapid development?
A year from now, like I said, marketer took a massive chunk of our workload at the start. So to say we've been running for just over a year now, 18 months, it would be unfair to say that it would be double the amount of tools. It's probably going to be more than that. So I would say probably another six to 8 tools that we will have. We're looking at all sorts of business stuff. A lot of the tools we've done are sort of are fallen down the creative marketing side because it made sense, and you've got to pick what the models are good at. But we know we have some other fantastic ideas in the pipeline as well. We're just running them through that initial ideation stage to make sure that there's product fit, and that's another huge part of what we're trying to do is we're trying to get a product fit that people want to use, an actual problem that people want solved, and not just that's quite cool but I wouldn't use it. So we're very open and honest with our community. We're at the stage with synthetic where we're very excited about it. It's the version 2 will come out. Lots of tech enthusiasts are very excited about it, but we constantly scrutinize, is someone going to be prepared to pay money for it? If so, how much money? If so, what will be the retention rate? And go from there. So if it's not, then we basically park that tool. We move to another concept that we've got working. So there's a constant stream of development coming up. But we don't marry any specific idea. We build a tool for a purpose. And we see what people think, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what any of the team thinks. It's what the public thinks. It's what the potential users think. So yeah, that's how we look. That's how we address it.
Yeah, very well said, George. And I agree with you. Like it's all about the good product, right? If you can see if users are using your product, it's a good product. My last but not least question to George is, you mentioned that you're going to also do some demo for the new product, like later today or this week. But let's say if somebody from our community wants to get started with LinqAI, like right now, like where should they begin and what should they pay attention to?
As I said before, we've had people come in and ask us in the group, and even from the moderators to the community manager to right up to the founders. What we always say, don't go in like everyone else does in crypto and just ape into tokens. I say, just do your research, look at our website, understand what we do, check out the roadmap. It's relatively well scripted. Read the light paper, look at the tokenomics, make sure you're happy with everything you want to do. But I would say the information is all on our website. I said, if you genuinely care, go look at the website, have a little scour around, see a little bit about the people. You can find out about every facet of our project on there. I would say that would be the best place to start, and then jump in the Telegram community or Discord community and ask any follow-up questions.
Thank you so much, George, for joining us today. To remind everybody, George Fox, the co-founder of LinqAI, was live with us for an hour, sharing some alpha about their exciting project. And yeah, like it's been absolute pleasure to learn about it, even though it's a bit, like, I'm not going to lie, it was a bit hard for me to understand it in the beginning, but once I got it, like it was very, very easy. And I'm excited for all of the developments that are coming soon, and yeah, like travel more. Is there anything you'd like to say before we close?
No, thank you very much for having us on, and yeah, we look forward to sort of continuing our sort of partnership together over the next few years. So yeah, thank you very much, Polina. Appreciate it.
Nice, thank you. Thank you all. Have a good day, and make sure to book your next flight with crypto.